Hey guys, it's Alexis here with Alele Creates. Today we are continuing with our A through Z series, and today is B, and it stands for Blue. It's Blue from Tailspin, and I really loved that show growing up. And I especially loved the theme song. I was gonna try and put it in, but I thought it was safer because copyright infringement is real and I'm not trying to pay those fines. So we just have some nice background music that's free. And jumping into the drawing, you'll see that I am struggling a lot with the body. For some reason, I could not get it down. I actually walked away from this project for a couple of days. Actually, it was more like up to a week, maybe a little bit more. That's why this video isn't going up sooner. It was bad. I just struggled so much with even wanting to continue with the project because I could not get it right. I couldn't get the body right. And then you'll see I struggle with his muzzle. I don't know what it is, but I've always been kind of bad at drawing like not so much animals, but animals that have muzzles. I don't know why I can't get the proportioning down correctly, but we are gonna struggle through it, and in the end it really does come together. So thankfully, I'm really thankful for that. So right now I'm just trying to, like I said, get the proportions down with his face. And in the picture he actually is winking. At first I was going to maybe try to just open the eye and not have him winking, but it still didn't look right. So I decided to leave the wink in, but to me the wink doesn't exactly look right. It looks like something's missing and something is off. So you'll see me struggle a lot with that, and it's really weird to leave all my struggles in the video, but I figure hopefully it'll help someone continue in their art process if they see me struggling with my art process. So I hope this helps you in some way, just to know that you're not the only one struggling, that it's hard sometimes to, they used to tell me in art school that your mind understands it and your mind gets what you're trying to do, but your hand cannot catch up. So just kind of have to wait on the hand to understand what the brain already understands. It's a frustrating process, but I think it makes it better in the end, and it's something that once you get it down, you're very proud of it. So it's the struggle that's worth it in the end. And here I'm just deleting or erasing his face. I just wanted to start over. I didn't understand what I was doing. I was looking at the reference picture, but nothing was really, it wasn't clicking for me. So I just started from scratch, and soon you'll see me actually erase his entire body. Here we go. And I just work on the face. And I'm trying to learn how to sketch with purpose, just to sketch and then maybe go over it again and correct any mistakes that way instead of erasing so much. I do erase a lot, even in traditional art. It's like the eraser is my clutch. I know it's always there and I can correct any mistakes because unfortunately I am a perfectionist and I don't want to share things if they're not perfect. So that's something that I'm trying to get over. And then you'll see his head, it looks really small, like I didn't make it wide enough. So here I'm enlarging the head and I'm just trying to gather the proportions and make sure it looks correct and looks at least a little bit like the model sheet. Working on that winking eye. I have to do more of those because it was a little too difficult. I know it's just a line, but it didn't look how I wanted it to look. Then here, bringing the muzzle out a little more. And here I'm just fiddling with the muzzle and making the lines a little darker. And of course erasing it. And I'm really gonna work on the erasing things. I don't know, it's just such a clutch. And I think I need, as in to grow in my drawing, I need to really look at what I'm doing and try and get it, maybe not even on the first try, but be okay with there being mistakes in the art. And that's something that I just struggle. And then it was just really hard to do this in general because he's not human. So with Aang, it was a little easier to get the features correct. But with Baloo, since he's an animal and he has the muzzle, and for some reason muzzles have always been hard for me to draw, it was a little more difficult to draw him. And I really want to continue with the series and get it all the way from A through Z, and I didn't want to give up on the second character. So I actually walked away from the project for a couple of days and really thought about kind of the other things that maybe I could draw. We have different options for B letters, and I was like, no, I already committed to doing Baloo, so I really want to do him justice. So in the end, I came back to it a couple of days later and I knocked it out. So sometimes you do have to walk away from a project, and it's okay to walk away, think about it, and maybe attack it from a different angle. So that's exactly what I had to do, just walk away from it and come back to it. Really think about what I wanted to do, what I was doing incorrectly, and then definitely being okay with it being incorrect and still continuing with the drawing. So initially I was going to just stick with the head and the top half of his jacket, because I really didn't think I was going to be able to get the body, and I don't know why it was so difficult. That was the most frustrating part. I didn't understand why I couldn't draw it. So I was just going to stick with the head and the top half of the jacket. But in the end, I was like, no, I really want to do his whole body. I really want it to look like the reference picture that I picked out. So in the end, you'll see me shrink him down and continue with the entire body. I think I'm doing that right now, yeah. So I'm really moving him around, trying to find the correct staging and draw out the rest of the body. And it was a little easier once I drew out the jacket first and kind of drew the rest of his body under the jacket. It was a little easier to get the shape down. He is a little skinnier than he is in the reference picture, but it's better than what I had initially. So I think his shape definitely improved from when I initially drew the body shape. So I'm really happy with how that turned out. And if I redo this drawing, I'll probably just make him a little bulkier, because he's a bear, so you know, they're kind of big. And here, just working on the arms, getting into the thumbs up. I think I initially drew too many fingers. I had to go back to the reference and just realize he's a cartoon character, and most cartoon characters have four fingers and a thumb. Or sorry, that's everyone. I'm sorry. They have 3 fingers and a thumb, or 4 fingers total. In drawing the second hand, I noticed after a little bit of drawing, I noticed that his thumb and the hand it's wrong. It's very unproportionate. So I definitely had to make that bigger. It looks like I'm making it all the same size, and then later I'll go in and I'll blow it up to make it match the other hand. I think I'm doing it right now. Yeah, rotating it, and then hopefully I'm gonna make it bigger right now. Maybe a little later. Yeah, it happens later. And I was trying to make the jacket look like it's smaller because it definitely looks like in the reference picture that he's a little too big for his jacket. He might have, yeah. So in the end, I'm trying to make it look like it's a smaller jacket, maybe a little bit of a tighter fit. Looks like I'm inking, but I still haven't fixed that hand, and it's really annoying me looking back at it that I went through the entire process of inking, or at least inking this part without fixing anything that any of the mistakes, and it irritates me that I didn't notice the mistake was there in the first place, which, I mean, it's fine. We'll fix it eventually, hopefully. I'm pretty sure I fixed it. Here we are drawing his hat. I really liked how the hat turned out. To me, it looks pretty spot on to the reference picture, and I really liked how it turned out. Here's where I noticed that the hand was way too small to be where it should be in the picture. So thankfully I caught that before I got too far in the process and had to go back and fix it. Altogether, I really like how the arms and the hands turned out. I think they look really nice. So there's that. I'm grateful for that part. I'm working on the sleeve of his jacket. And it's weird. It's kind of hypnotizing to sit here and just watch all the lines come together, especially when you speed the video up. Just watching all the lines come together. I don't know. That might just be me. I am kind of on the weird side. But it really is hypnotizing to me to just sit there and watch it all come together line by line, and then adding color, and then having this final project that you're really proud of. So I'm so excited to be doing this, and I hate that it took me so long to even really start drawing again and really start doing YouTube. But you know what? We all come together. We all get where we need to go in our own time. So I'm grateful that at least now I'm doing this. And I believe we are finished with inking, or with the line work anyway. Hopefully we'll start coloring soon. I don't know what I was doing. I might have been talking to my mom or something. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna put on the buttons for the jacket. And I wasn't happy with how the hat, how the line looked. It looked like it didn't look how it looked in the reference picture, so I wanted to go back and fix that. So we're gonna lock that layer and do a new layer under. I believe this is color. I think this is maybe the fur layer that I'm doing right now. After looking at it, the fur color looks a little too light. I wish I had gone in and darkened it, but it's okay. He still looks good, and you can tell who it is. And that's the most important part. Okay, so I'm just continuing with the fur, getting that all completed. I think we're gonna move on to maybe his face, or just cleaning up some of the color at the bottom. And I know I said for Aang that I'm not, well, when I was coloring Aang, that I'm not really the biggest colorist. But I am, as I was in that project, I'm really starting to enjoy the coloring process. I'm used to more just drawing and leaving it as is, plain, never really going back and coloring. But I'm definitely starting to enjoy coloring more. So that's something that this project or this series is really helping me with, to just go in and color it and make the mistakes, make the choices, see what I like and don't like, and the coloring process I like and don't like. So really, I'm really starting to like it. And I've never liked coloring before, or never liked coloring my own drawings before. So this is a really new process for me, and I'm really liking it and enjoying the time spent just coloring. So I want to know how many of you grew up watching Tailspin, or watching just the 90s cartoons that I grew up watching, and who was your favorite character in Tailspin? Not so much Jungle Book, but more focusing on the Tailspin side of it. Who was your favorite character, and what did you really like about them? Like, I'm really mad I couldn't put the theme song in. Like, I really want to, but it's not worth it in the end to maybe have to take the video down and have to re-record it, or just re-upload it with different music. So just to be on the safe side, I'm not gonna do it. But I really love that theme song. And if you haven't seen the theme song, or sorry, if you haven't heard the theme song and seen the opening trailer for Tailspin, just YouTube it. It's so amazing. I love it. From the song down to the animation, I really love Tailspin and everything with the show. And you'll notice in the future that I am a major cartoon nerd. I love cartoons even now. Just I watch them, or I try and watch them whenever I can. Maybe like the old school cartoons that I grew up on, not so much the new age ones, but definitely going back to my childhood and not watching the cartoons from that I grew up on. It's really amazing to me. I think now, yep, we're working on his hat. And the blue I'm using here, at first I couldn't tell if it was blue or black in the reference picture, so I just went with a blue. But then I realized after I have it already colored that the blue is too light. It's more of a navy, it's a really dark blue. And I was gonna leave it, but I thought, like, no, just go back and do it correctly. So I just went over what I had done and colored it with the darker blue, and I'm really happy with the results. I think it looks a lot better and a lot more like the picture. And then I've noticed, or definitely once you put in the eye of the character, then at that point the character starts to come to life. So if you're ever struggling with your character not looking right or something looking off about your character, draw the eyes in, or at least color them in with like maybe a block color or a placeholder color, and it might help your character look up or come to life more. Here I'm picking, or I already chose it, the color of this in the sleeve of his jacket. I really wasn't sure what color I was gonna pick or which colors would look right together, because of course the inside of the sleeve is gonna be lighter than the outside of the jacket, but I couldn't figure out the color I really wanted to use, and I definitely go to using different colors and or different coloring different areas, and then coming back and filling in the jacket maybe with the color. It was like, oh, it's fine, I'll use it. I'm not 100% happy with how the jacket, the coloring of the jacket, but it's close enough to where I think it's fine. We can get away with it. Okay guys, so I think now I'm going to start adding in shadows. I'm going to be doing that soon, or right now I'm going in and erasing where I was coloring outside of the lines. And then hopefully at some point I'll start adding shadows. Maybe now? So yeah, I put the shadows on a separate layer, and I went in with just black and just colored in everything that I wanted to be in shadow. With the eye, it was in shadow. However, when I lowered the opacity of the layer, it was still a little too dark. So you'll see me go back in and change the color at 100 opacity to more of a gray color just over his eye. So when I lowered the opacity down, lower the opacity, it goes to like it basically the layer is a little lighter over his eye, but only on the eye, and I think it really helps pull the picture together once all the shadows are in place. So here I'm just cleaning up some lines. I know I should do this before and the shadow should be my last step, but I'm still a work in progress. So hopefully you'll see me grow as I grow, and we'll just hopefully grow together. So here, just adding more shadows at 100% opacity. And then here's where I was talking about I'm going to go in with the darker gray instead of black. And I'm lowering the opacity, and you'll see that automatically creates shadows. So that's an easy one for you. So we are done with the video. Here is the final picture and project. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I am so appreciative. And if you haven't already, please be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time with the letter C. Once again, this is Alexis with Alele Creates, and see you next time.